Hello. You'll never guess what my name is. I think it might be Peregrine. Starting in 2026, I've been on a bit of a gym kick. I've been going to the gym for a while now, but right now I'm going most days of the week, and the thing keeping me going is having an anime to watch while I'm there. And my number one breakout surprise favourite so far has been Gachiakuta. Why did I say it like that? Anyway, it sat on my watch list for a while because I found the premise interesting. I too am a hater of waste and the culture of throwing things away instantly for no reason. This consumer-based world I'm forced to live in drives me insane, and I also enjoy any show that gives me a class of elites to fucking despise, just like the real world and One Piece, I suppose. However, after 2 episodes in, and having the power system explained to me, I fell head over heels in love with the series and watched it every day at the gym. For those not in the know, the power system of Gachiakuta is based on vital instruments. An object that is so beloved by its user gives the item a soul and unleashes its full potential. However, only a small amount of the population, known as givers, are able to do this. Now let me run this by you again. A small amount, or a minority of the population, is born with an unnatural special bond with an inanimate object, personifying it, and can also bring out its full potential. I could be wrong, but I think I've heard this somewhere before. One sec, let me grab my thinking hat. What could I possibly be recognizing? What could I possibly be referencing? If this show isn't an allegory for autism, I'd be very fucking surprised, because this feels about as subtle as being hit in the face with a brick. I picked up on this thread almost instantly, and it made the show twice as good of an experience for me. As I've mentioned in a few videos now, I'm autistic, and in the many years I've been alive, I've had many special toys to the point of being close to hoarding things. As a child, I was considered the golden standard of behaviour, but after I lost my little magnetic milk truck in the Trafford Centre, I was inconsolable until my parents bought me a new one and pretended they found it. To this day, there's still many toys that I keep very close to me, and I would have a complete panic attack if I lost them. The main character, Rudo, has quickly become one of my favourite characters in fiction, purely through relatability, and I see a lot of myself in him and feel represented in a way I've never quite felt before. I spent so much of my childhood years essentially friendless, aside a few people who I assumed took pity on me. I mean, I had friends, but they all felt quite distant, which led to me creating imaginary friends and stuffing personalities into my toys and treating them as living beings. Also, similar to Rudo, I was also someone who looked for broken toys, mostly in the form of ripped plushies, but other things as well, and bought them at discounted prices because I knew, just like me, they'd never be picked. So imagine how I'm feeling when I see Rudo being ostracised from his peers for rummaging around trash and falling in love with strange and random objects. To be quite honest, it's difficult to even act like I didn't take one look at Gachiakuta and go, this is my anime, this was made for me, this is mine. Rudo is an incredibly interesting character due to his selfishness and unstable emotion, being one of the only anime protagonists able to punch a child sex trafficking victim and have me completely understand why he did it. This moment with Amo sticks out to me in particular because of how autism-coded it presents itself. Rudo has no concept of chivalry due to his mind being based in logic. In his mind, Amo's sex or history or how unarmed she was in the moment has no relevance to his desire and ability to punch her because he views her as both an equal and a threat. His mind has no care for historical views of women and lacks a greater context of social norms. What can I say? My son is a proud feminist and an equal opportunity beater. His difficulty holding back his rage after what she did to him, and his instant switch up to offering his hand to her in order to explore the world together, all screams of someone seriously struggling to regulate their intense emotions properly, a telltale sign of autism, particularly at his age. Rudo also remains very set on his goal of revenge, tunnel visioning severely on it. While hyperfixation isn't an autism-exclusive trait, it seems like another hint left purposefully. After all this, I'm really relating to Rudo. I bet if I Google this mangaka, he's gonna look exactly the same as me. Let's have a look, okay. Kei Urana and wow, she's pretty. There are other connections I'd like to make with Gachiakuta and autism, particularly the use of the choices of art and openings used in the anime. One of the most powerful abilities in this series is the wielder of the marker pen vital instrument. It's being able to create seals like somewhat of a mage or a cleric. The heavy emphasis on art as power, community and communication, particularly in Canvas Town, feels very purposeful when considering Gachiakuta as somewhat of an autistic allegory, due to the importance of artistic expression within the autistic community, as it provides the ability to communicate to a group that notoriously struggles with it. Art is a topic commonly misunderstood by neurotypicals, failing to understand the more complex topics and meanings in the pieces, not becoming as attached to artistic expression as autistic people may do. I also think the use of heavy metal OPs is an interesting choice given the lens of an autistic person. It comes as no shock to a metalhead, but to an outsider it might be confusing or surprising to learn that the metal community is already filled to the brim with autistic people, due to the comforting culture around metal and the themes of being an outsider in the metal music, resonating heavily with autistic people. Metal also provides an emotional outlet much harder than any other type of music due to the sheer brutality of it, which, if you've ever seen an autistic child tantrum, you'll know we have heaps and heaps of emotion waiting to be unleashed. Particularly with Hugs by Pale Dusk, the purposefully offbeat and tonal whiplash in the music could be interpreted as the ever-changing and hard-to-predict emotions of an autistic person. The self-loathing lyrics of Hugs also feels relevant to the self-hate instilled in autistic people during their childhood years. Unshown in the actual EP itself, but in the full version of the song, the tone of Hugs drastically changes towards the end to an incredibly soft crescendo, essentially begging for an embrace after the sheer explosive rage exposed at the beginning half of the song. After all, there is a reason the song is called Hugs. As for Let's Just Crash, I don't really have anything to say about it. I didn't personally like it, so someone with a better view of it could probably do a better version of this video for it. But I still cannot shake the feeling that I've heard that vocalist's voice somewhere before.
Listen to me!
I'm okay.
You made me watch Dancing Fruits on TV!
So we're already quite a few minutes into this, and I like to keep my videos quite short and concise. So before it ends, I wish to just talk about the pit and how Rudo was sent to the ground by his society. This one is a very weak connection, I understand, but this is my interpretation. But the entire concept of the ground being the place where things that don't fit in are sent, having a seemingly autistic child be sent there without even considering what he has to say, speaks to me on a complex level. We are the forgotten. Especially the high-functioning autistic people. Without noticeable problems, our condition is ignored, brushed aside, for those with more visible or noticeable disabilities. Pleas for help ignored, called lazy or worthless, cast aside, the freaks, the outcasts, the unlovable, left to rot with the other trash around us. But just as Rudo found love, strength and purpose on the ground, we too can find meaning in our world despite our treatment. It's on us to push through and force ourselves to be seen. To use our individual strengths and talents to grip this hateful, wasteful world by the balls and to make it witness us. Because, you know, as the old saying goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Thank you for watching.